This will be a quick and easy tutorial inside of Capture One 22 on how I like to make my portraits pop using the advanced color adjustment feature. I think it's probably one of the most important features inside of the program and can really set your add an extra level to your portraiture and your photography, just general photography. So I've got my portrait here. I've done all of my basic editing, cropping, straightening, color adjustments, all my global adjustments, sharpening, everything's ready to go. And now I'm going to go in and make some advanced color adjustments to just really make my subject, my beautiful subject, pop. So what most people will do when they're shooting against white is they'll white balance for the white, obviously. So they'll come over here and get their white balance picker and select the white backdrop, and that brings all of your other colors, more or less brings all of your other colors into alignment. The problem with that is that sometimes it can make the portrait and the skin tone of your model a little cooler than you probably want. So I'm going to go back to my original setting of 4900 Kelvin, and I feel like that's a really nice warm skin tone. There's probably several different ways you can do this, but this is the way that I like to do it. This is my workaround. So I'm happy with this skin tone. However, that has actually warmed up the entirety of my picture, and now to my eye we've got a slightly yellow cast on the backdrop and the surrounds. So I'm going to come across to my color editor. By default it'll be in basic. I'm going to go across to advanced, and below the feature we have the color wheel. So the first thing we need to do is get our color selection tool in here, and we're going to select the color that we want to, or the cast that we want to, the hue that we want to remove. So I'm going to select the white backdrop again, and you'll notice that instantly we've now got a selection on the color wheel. So just to quickly explain the color wheel, you have all of your different colors, hues around the outside. That's pretty evident, and you can make a selection of the color that you want to adjust by moving these sliders on the outside of the wheel. Now, I want to remain with the color that I selected before, so I'm just going to Command Z that. And on the inside of the wheel, basically you have your shadows on the outside of the wheel, the midtones in the middle, and then closer to the center of the wheel will be your highlights. So if I drag this selection wedge all the way out to the outer edge of the color wheel, that means that we're going to be affecting that color in the shadows, midtones, and the highlights. As it is, I just want to affect that color, that particular color range in the highlights. So I'm going to Command Z again and bring it back to the original wedge. Now, before I start making adjustments, I'm going to select this View Selected Color Range, toggle that on, and that will show me exactly which colors I'm going to be affecting. Now, we've got a bit of a problem at the moment because it looks like we're going to be slightly affecting the skin tone of our model, which is not ideal. So I am going to make an adjustment to which luminosity it's going to affect. Now, it can take a little bit of fiddling, but basically we want it so that we're maximizing the effect on the colors that you want to create the effect on and minimizing the effect on parts of the image that you do not want the effect to apply to. Okay, that looks... and like I said, it does take a bit of fiddling. I'm relatively happy with that. It is still affecting some of the skin tone, but it's going to be very minimal. You're probably not going to notice. Okay, so let's toggle that off, the View Selected Color Range off, and then we come down to the tools underneath the color wheel. Smoothness is basically how much the effect is going to be feathered, and you can see that by that halo around the actual wedge. If I reduce the smoothness, it's going to make it a sharper effect. If if I increase it, it makes it more feathered. We're going to leave that at 20. Hue, we don't want to adjust that. That's actually going to change the actual hue of this selection, which can be useful in some situations, but not for this particular effect in this particular picture. Saturation and lightness, those two are pretty self-explanatory, and what we want to adjust today is the saturation. So I'm just going to enter a value of negative, don't like to take it all the way, let's go negative 80. And you'll notice instantly the change, the effect that's had on the image. So we've completely removed that yellow cast from the backdrop. If I toggle that off, you'll see on the grey concrete and somewhat on the white backdrop as well, how much of an effect that actually has just by removing that particular color from the highlights of this image. That's basically the tutorial. Now you can go ahead and continue to select colors in your backdrop or colors anywhere in your image and make adjustments accordingly, but for the purpose of this and for this particular portrait, I think that that's really all we need to do. As an example, I can go in and if I wanted to remove the dark green that's in the corner of the image from this plant, I could choose my color selector again, select that. You'll notice how it selected the greens, more of the mid-tones this time. I'm going to toggle the view select color range on, make sure that it's just affecting that. Oh, you can see that there's actually still a little bit of green, and this is still a bit of a green cast in the grey concrete, but not affecting anything else over here. My model doesn't have green eyes, there's no green in the skin, so it's not going to affect that. I can toggle that off. I don't really have to adjust the wedge selection for this, and again we're going to come down to saturation. Let's go negative 80 again, and you'll notice that it's now removed the greens from that plant. If we toggle both of those effects off, we can see what the original image looked like without the advanced color editing, and put them back on, and you'll see what a difference it actually makes. So that's the tutorial today. I'll be posting plenty more tutorials in the coming weeks, so please subscribe and comment with any questions you have. Thanks for watching.